Welcome to Crazy Fun PE with Mrs. T, the podcast that's on a mission to make school fun again. Every Monday morning, I'll wake you up with unique PE games, creative teaching ideas, and simple management tips that get kids moving, laughing, and having a total blast. Sometimes with a squeaky rubber chicken or two. I'm your host, Mrs. T. Now let's get moving.
Hey there, crazy awesome PE friends. Welcome back to another episode of Crazy Fun PE with Mrs. T. I am so glad that you're here with me. So today I am sharing all of the details inside my most popular blog post, my 50-minute elementary PE schedule that totally rocks. Not just the games, not just the lesson, but the entire layout of the class. How do you keep kids moving? How do you fit everything into 50 minutes? How do you build relationships, teach skills, manage behavior, and still have fun? Well, today I am walking you through the exact 50-minute class schedule that I've used for a whole bunch of years. And here's the best part. I also have a completely free downloadable PE class schedule template that you can grab after the episode. I'll let you know where to find it at the end. So let's jump right in. Okay, why in the world does a schedule matter so much? Well, one thing I have learned over the years, especially after teaching 4 years of kindergarten, is that kids absolutely thrive on routines. They need them. They crave them. They like knowing what's coming next. When students know how PE flows, they spend less time wondering and more time moving, and that's what we all want. Maximum movement, maximum learning, maximum fun. So, here's how my classes are typically organized. I have it broken down into 8 simple sections. First, I start with a one-song warm-up. The first thing students hear when they walk into my gym is music. I honestly think music changes the entire atmosphere. It immediately tells kids this is going to be fun. Students grab their water bottles, they put them in their cubbies, and immediately begin moving around the outside perimeter or black line of the gym as soon as they hear the music start. One important rule, though, everybody moves in the same direction, counterclockwise. That simple routine keeps students safe and prevents collisions. They can walk, they can jog or skip. It's their choice. And here is something my older students love. After we have completed our basketball unit, I do allow my 3rd through 5th graders to dribble a basketball during our one-song warm-up. But with that, there are 2 rules or expectations. They have to keep moving and absolutely no shooting baskets during the warm-up. It's amazing how excited they get over something so simple, and it really does help to improve their basketball dribbling skills too. Next, we move into group exercises and fitness stars. After warm-up, it's group exercise time, and this is also when I announce my fitness star of the day. Can I tell you, this has been one of the best classroom management tools I've ever used. Instead of students arguing over who gets to help with the equipment, who gets to lead, who gets to choose teams, who gets to be a tagger first, whatever, it's already decided. Today's fitness star problem solved. They help lead stretches. They help with the equipment. Sometimes they choose the taggers first. Sometimes they help demonstrate, all that good stuff. Kids absolutely love having and earning this responsibility. You can get all of the details about how amazing fitness stars are in my full blog post, which I will leave in the show notes for you below. Part 3. This is what I call our check-in chat. And this might surprise some people, but one of my favorite parts of PE is when nobody is moving. For about 5 minutes, we sit in a circle. We simply talk. I call it my PE question of the day, or like I said, check-in chat. Fun questions like, what's your favorite pizza topping? If you had a superpower, what would it be? Would you rather swim with dolphins or fly with eagles? Simple, fun, low pressure. Here's why I love it. Relationships. Every child gets to speak. Every child gets heard. And every single day, I learn something new about my students and I make real connections with them. And it also lets them know that I truly care about them. Sometimes these 5 minutes are even more valuable than the game that we play afterward. Moving on to part 4, cardio warm-up game. Sometimes I call it our heart party. So now it's finally time to run. And this is where I almost always use one of my favorite tag games. Why? Because tag gets everybody moving, heart rates go up, smiles get bigger, all that fun stuff. And kids burn off a little of that extra energy before we move back into our teaching time. It's also where my fitness star gets to shine. They get to be one of the first taggers. Again, another simple way to motivate positive behavior and stop the arguing. All right, let's move on to schedule chunk number 5. This is our target talk. Now that everyone has had a chance to move a little bit, I gather my students back together. And again, this is what I call target time or target talk. It's only about 4 or 5 minutes, but it's incredibly important. This is where I explain the PE focus skill for the day's lesson. Maybe we're learning to underhand throw. Maybe we're striking. Maybe we're kicking. Whatever the skill is, I always try to include 3 things. First, our I can statement. Second, I myself model the skill for the students. And third, I have my students visualize and repeat the learning target together. Like I said, visualize. I love having them visualize themselves being successful at that skill. And again, repeating the learning target together. It's short, it's focused, and then we get right back to moving. All right. Chunk number 6 is the main event. This is pretty much what I call the meat and potatoes of PE, the main game, the target skill activity. And this is where students spend the biggest chunk of class practicing whatever skill we're learning. And here's something I really, really believe. Kids don't even realize how much they're learning because they're having so much fun. That's exactly how learning should feel. I usually choose a focus skill game during this time from my 59 Crazy Fun PE Games That Rock book. Maybe a fun rubber chicken game that reinforces underhand throwing or whatever skill we are working on. Then part number 7 is my secret weapon, choice time. And I'm going to tell you something. This may be the most powerful 10 minutes of my entire PE class. Student choice time. I know some teachers hear that and they think, wait, you just let kids choose what they want to do? Yes, but with clear boundaries, of course. And here's why. Choice creates ownership, and ownership creates motivation. Students know, hey, if we work hard, if we follow directions, respect each other, we'll earn choice time. And guess what? Behavior improves, transitions improve, students encourage each other. And here's another little tip. this is my favorite time to jump in and actually play with my students. We laugh together, we build relationships. I check in with kids who may have had a rough day. Sometimes I reteach a skill one-on-one with them. Never underestimate the power of simply playing with all of your students and interacting with them. Some of my strongest teacher-student relationships have been built during choice time. And finally, schedule part or chunk number 8, cleanup, jokes, and high fives. Every class has to end, but I want my students leaving with a big smile. So here's my end of class simple routine. 3 whistle blows, music stops, students clean up, we meet back on the black line, I tell a sports joke, and then every single student gets a high five as they leave. Why? Because the last 30 seconds matter big time. I want every student walking out thinking, my teacher noticed me today. My teacher smiled at me today. My teacher really cares about me. That is something that they're going to remember. And if there's one thing I hope you take away from today's episode, it's this. A great PE class isn't just about great games. It's about creating consistent structure and a rhythm, a routine, a place where students know they're safe, they're welcome, they're expected to be respectful, they're encouraged, and they're going to have big time, crazy fun. That's what keeps kids excited about PE all year long. So, as I promised, if you would like a copy of my exact 50-minute PE class schedule template, it's completely free. I'll include the download link in today's show notes below. And if you'd like all of my agenda labels, learning targets, games, classroom management resources, and lesson plans already done and created for you, be sure to check out my always growing PE mega bundle while you're there. All right, before we go, it's time for my sports joke of the week. What does the sun skate on? Solar blades. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today on Crazy Fun PE with Mrs. T. If today's episode gave you one idea to try in your gym tomorrow, I would love it if you'd follow the podcast, leave a quick 5-star review, and share it with another PE teacher. Until next time, remember, if you had fun, you totally won. Now get out there and let's make school fun again together.